the VR Podcast.
All right, so we're here at NEARpod with Rajeev Arora, and we're going to kind of talk a little bit about NEARpod, but then specifically, they've got kind of their foothold into the emerging technology with AR and VR stuff.
Right,
so,
right.
Tell us how the conference is going so far. I know it's kind of real day one, but it seems pretty busy right now.
It was. I mean, just over the opening reception last night, an hour and a half we had.
Right.
We had over 300 people stop by.
It's amazing. Like there's excitement.
Yeah.
There's excitement around not just AR and VR, but how that embeds inside of the curriculum and in the classroom.
Exactly.
So tell us what your role is with NEARpod. I think you have a pretty big footprint in NEARpod, if I'm not mistaken.
I do. I'm responsible for marketing, so I'm the chief marketing officer.
Okay.
And the key part about NEARpod is we're trying to sort of show people, hey, you need to bring student engagement back into the classroom.
Right.
We've got all these people who do surveys,
right.
and Gallup, for example, they do student engagement survey. They survey hundreds of thousands of kids, and what they say is by grade 11, 68% of them are self-reporting themselves as I'm not engaged.
Yeah,
so we need to sort of go ahead and bring technologies like this, and we need to sort of build that excitement and that interaction.
So that they want to learn, right?
Exactly.
And good teachers know that. Good teachers know when students are not engaged. And some students that like those A students, they try to pretend like they're engaged, but really they probably are too nice to say that. That was a terrible lesson.
Right.
So that's great. So several of our listeners are pioneers, and so they've been sharing that there's some more changes coming in maybe the VR and the AR space for NEARpod. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. I'll talk a bit. It's obviously ongoing improvement.
Absolutely,
right? So we're forever improving. The hardware devices are improving. So the software side's obviously got to go ahead and keep up. And so you've seen all of the VR technologies that we've already been been using. I think we're up to something like 350,000 different virtual explorations.
Wow.
And then we're continuing to add more and more. So one of the things that we've done in the past is this thing we call college and career exploration. It's a supplemental curriculum.
Okay.
And we did hundreds of college virtual tours. And with this release, which just came out today, we're actually adding career virtual tours.
Oh,
so
that's amazing.
So you can sort of, you can go, so one of them is working in a high-tech software company.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Guess who that features, right?
Yeah.
So that features NEARpod. So you can go into the NEARpod office.
He's working in his acting career to get in there.
Exactly. But we've got other careers. So you can see, what's it like to work in healthcare.
Yeah.
And actually go ahead and get the full experience. I'm actually in the hospital, and within the hospital, do I take a right or a left, and what happens there, and what's in an intensive care unit, and all of those kinds of things.
Yeah, so. And when we think about how immersive technology bridges this equity gap, right?
Exactly.
Not all kids have access to all these different types of careers, so that's a great thing to market out, so that students can experience a bunch of different things, especially regionally, because I'm from the South, and so there's specific careers that are to our area, but if something like that came along for our students, it would open up their world a little bit broader.
Exactly. I mean, I was in California, and in California, I'm in the Central Coast, and they've got, specific careers. They've got specific employers that they want to partner with. So it's welding, or it's nursing, or whatever, and they're like, we would love to have stuff like this, and we would love to sort of bring employers, and let's go ahead and do the virtual tours for those employers, and we'd love to be able to partner with our customers like that.
That's perfect. So talk to me about the response so far that you've had from teachers on VR up to this point.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
So we have, it's probably the number one thing that NEARpod's known for.
Yeah.
Right, so VR is the number one thing, and people come and use it. They'll put their headset, their phone into the headset, and then they'll like explore. If you go on Twitter, whether or not somebody even has a headset. If you're just on your iPhone or your iPad, and you're just like kind of.
Yeah, that's right.
There's so many teachers who post videos, from elementary kids all the way to seniors. And it engages. The main part is always bringing it back to student engagement.
Right.
With any other thing, when a teacher is interacting with the class, they might ask a question and go, who knows the answer? And the same 3 hands will go up. And then you got to pick between the same 3 people to see which one will answer.
Or
when you have something like this,
Yeah.
you get 100% participation.
Absolutely.
Everybody's
They love
answering
it.
the questions. Everybody's drawing whatever their answer is, any of those sorts of things.
And you know what I love about how y'all have done with VR is y'all have incorporated it into a great platform that y'all have already had built, which is guided or self-paced.
Yep.
I'm not gonna. I hate to say presentation because it's more than that, but it's essentially, I guess, it would be 21st century type of presentation.
It's an interaction.
It's an interaction. That's right.
That's how people learn.
Yeah.
People learn as they interact with each other.
Yeah.
We don't like. There's a lot of technology on this floor space.
Yeah.
We don't like the technology that basically just sets a kid in front of a computer and says, "Go at it."
Yeah.
That's not where learning happens. Learning happens, we sort of think the teacher and the interaction with the other students, that's what's critical. That's how we learn. That's how I learn, when I'm talking to other people and all of that. So we want to basically help the teacher.
Yeah.
We always think that the teacher has that central role. And what we're there for is, we'll give you all the resources. We'll give you this technology platform.
Yeah.
We have 7,000 plus lessons. We have 350,000 virtual reality tours. But then at the end of it, the teacher controls it. They basically go, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take some PowerPoint, or I'm going to take some Google Slides, I'm going to put it into a presentation, and I'm going to add whatever interactivity I want. I'm going to add a virtual reality tour. I'm going to go ahead and add, a quiz or a poll or whatever's going to basically encourage the students to participate, and for the teacher to then figure out, where do I go next? To be able to do differentiated learning. I'm going to go ahead and, take a quiz, and then based on that, you're talking about self-paced versus teacher-led.
Yeah.
Based on that, I can basically say, okay, group 1, let's go ahead and send you into this self-paced version. Group 2, send you into this different self-paced version. And then maybe different levels.
Yeah, that's
the groups
perfect.
don't really need to know that.
That is spectacular.
And then, now there's more and more integrations happening. So we've got Desmos. Which is the best graphing calculator there is for higher end math. So now you can have Desmos activities built right into NEARpod. You click on next, and the graphing calculator pops up. You can interact with the equation.
That's amazing. Do y'all find that things like that, y'all's integrations, that y'all are going to be doing more of those type things?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, we, over there, I don't know whether we can really pan or not.
Oh, we can.
That's basically all of our.
Let's go NEARpod.
We've got all of our partners, the logo's basically there. So, we've got integrations into Canvas and Schoology and Blackboard from a learning management system perspective.
Perfect.
ISTE for professional development. And then, the different ones, Desmos, Newsella, Newsella content.
Yeah.
If you're logged in, now you can basically just click on next and the Newsella content will pop up. So that's
great.
coming up fairly soon.
Well, and that also, to be honest, that helps parents too.
Yeah.
Whenever it's a centralized location, it makes things really, really easy for the parents to understand. Because in the ever-evolving and the fast-paced changes that we see in technology, it's really easy to get kind of lost in the shuffle, especially as parents.
We want to be the one place, where people can come and they can see all the interactions and they can see all of the different content. Kind of that aggregator. So no matter which,
that's a good way to put it.
Earlier on we used to talk about, teachers have to open up 100 different tabs on their browser to go from one place to another place. Or, you go this website now. Oh, let's watch this video now. And obviously students then go off into different directions.
Yep.
With NEARpod, you can sort of bring them all together again.
Yeah.
The teacher just clicks on next. The next thing can be a slide. The next thing can be a virtual reality tour. The next thing can be a quiz. The next thing can be a video. And when you want to bring people together again, you just click on next and everybody's brought back together again. So the teacher always is in control of that whole student life cycle.
Yeah. And what I love is that in those moments where you want there to be some exploration, you can allow that and then pull them back in. It's a beautiful component, I think, of NEARpod that maybe some educators don't fully understand, like how the pedagogy really comes in. It's like you can still give them freedom, but pull them back in when you think that you need to.
One example of that is whether it's a PDF or like a really nice Microsoft Sway.
Yeah.
You can bring that up and then you can allow students to just scroll at their own pace.
Right.
They can even take notes. So as they take notes on something, they'll actually get a PDF either emailed to them or directly into their Google Drive or OneDrive or whatever. And then here's the thing that I was looking at, and here's my notes about that thing right next to it. It's all in a PDF that you can share with your parents. You can have something as a
amazing.
Take back to the home.
So let's say that we have some educators out there that have they have never done NEARpod before, they don't know anything about it, what's the best way for them to get started? Where should their first stop be?
So I would say, obviously, the first place, come to nearpod.com and just click on sign up. And there's a free product. It's called the Silver Edition. You don't have to pay anything. And just sign up. And you have a lot of the interactivity that I'm talking about already. Going to the next thing, all the different activities that I talked about. Some of the VR content is actually available for free as well.
Oh, that's really good.
So definitely do that. And then if you're a school administrator, you're a principal, you're a district, technology person, just ask for how is it that we can go ahead and do a trial at the school level, or ask for how we can do trial at the district level.
That's great.
Because then, remember I was talking about the 7,000 lessons.
Right.
You have access to all of those.
Yeah,
and you have access to working with other teachers. And a school or a district can create their own library. So we've got the NEARpod lesson library.
That's perfect.
But you can say, you know what, of these 7,000, here's the 400 that are perfectly aligned to what it is that we want to do.
Great.
Or things that maybe our own teachers have written, and we can go ahead and put that in the school library.
Right, because NEARpod really, they work closely with educators. I mean, they have their, it's called the Pioneer Program, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, I said it earlier, hopefully I got it right. But they're engaging educators to help them develop these things. So it's not just tech people, it's tech people that have a passion for education, and it's educators that see the value of this technology, all working kind of hand in hand with each other to come up with a great product.
Exactly.
Well,
I mean, our community programs, are all centered around educators. So we actually have a conference that we're calling Transform. And it used to be called the Pioneer Summit, and we've now expanded it. So there's pioneers, we have about 350 of them, all over the country, some from all over the world actually coming in. And now we've actually expanded it to, all the districts and teachers and administrators who are our customers. And all of them will be in Fort Lauderdale for 3 days, February 22nd through 24th. We've got a sign up for that one as well. That people can just come. And we have a beautiful venue in Fort Lauderdale. And we'll spend 3 days with the pioneers, and we'll listen to them.
That's
the whole
amazing.
point about that part is us listening to them and say what's working, what's not working, and allowing them to sort of steer us. A bunch of the things that I talk about, the Desmos or matching pairs or virtual reality, these are ideas that came from our community. And
that's great.
That's what we want to do. We want to talk to them again to see what's the next thing.
Well, I will say that responsive companies to educators are the ones that are rising to the top, especially right now. And the more that happens, the better. And I thank NEARpod for doing that. And I thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely.
And y'all make sure you check out nearpod.com. Later.